So yesterday, US President Donald Trump completely betrayed his base by signing a $1.3 trillion spending bill that includes things like funding border walls in other countries and not funding one in America, giving more money to Planned Parenthood. And people here in the West, rightly so, are not very happy about it. And support for Trump has gone completely out the window, and people are starting to question the effectiveness of the political solutions to this rising leftist, cultural Marxist, communist wave that is sweeping across the Western countries in an attempt to destroy them and destroy the entire freedom and culture that our ancestors fought and died to create and to protect. And rightly so, people are pissed. I am one of those people. And I believed in the political solution, and I was certainly in favor of Donald Trump, and I had supported Donald Trump for quite a while. And that has gone completely out the window. The Republican Party is dead. And in Europe, things have gotten much worse as well. Like Marine Le Pen was not able to win her election. Brexit passed, but they haven't been able to do anything against it. And people are extremely worried about the state of the West. And they should be. Now, I believe that we have one final chance at a political solution before the entire thing devolves into a tribalist battle, civil war, Weimar Republic, third world country descent into hell. I believe we have one last chance to stop that politically. And I believe that that is here in Canada. In Canada, we have two very important elections coming up within the next 2 years. In 2 months, we have the Ontario election. Ontario is the center of Canada. It accounts for 1/3 of the population of Canada. And it's a massive sector of wealth. There's a lot of money here in Ontario. And the Liberals have turned this place into a massive debt-starved hellhole. And things are extremely expensive here, like hydro and housing. And we constantly get pushed this diversity narrative, while simultaneously having events like the Lindsay Shepherd crackdown, social justice inquisition, as well as Faith Goldie not being allowed to speak at Laurier because leftists pulled the fire alarm, despite no conservatives trying to interrupt their protest outside, their peaceful protest outside. No one tried to shut that down. Although when we, the Daily Blunt, tried to go and record it and film their protest and ask them questions about what they're protesting, they responded with silence, intimidation, and trying to block our cameras with their signs. So, right now, Ontario is in the midst of an election campaign. Hasn't officially kicked off yet, but they're out there. Doug Ford, Kathleen Wynne, Andrea Horwath, and all the other pointless political parties. The Greens, sorry, you guys suck. And Libertarians, I love your message, but you guys can't seem to get a party together and actually get something done. So here in Ontario, we have a big election coming up where Doug Ford is poised based on polls. Obviously, polls are not the most accurate thing, but based on polls and based on general opinion, Doug Ford is the likely candidate to win the Ontario election. It's almost a foregone conclusion that Kathleen Wynne will not be premier again. Whether it'll be Doug Ford or Horwath is the question to be answered. Most people think that Doug Ford will be the leader, and I think rightfully so. I think he is a down-to-earth man. and him and his brother Rob did a pretty good job in Toronto, getting the hands out of the cookie jar, as Doug Ford would say, of the political elites, sucking the blood from the taxpayers, the lifeblood of the unborn from the taxpayers. And so I believe that this is a crucial election here in Ontario, and it's the stepping stone to something larger, because next year, in 2019, the Trudeau reign will come to an end, and we will have a election where it's once again almost certain that the Liberals will be defeated. The real question is whether the Conservatives or the NDP will win. I think that's going to be a closer contest than here in Ontario. I think in Ontario, Doug Ford is very likely to win. I think Andrew Scheer will win as well next year, but the NDP will definitely contest that. So here in Canada, we have two important political elections coming up, and I think that this is the last chance, not just in Canada, but in the West as a whole, to stop the cultural Marxist death wave that has been identity politics, intersectionality, just the complete insane, I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's so ridiculous. It's just blatant hypocrisy, honestly, of the left. The mad cash grab for resources. I believe that we here in Canada are the last defense against this wave. If we do not stop this with elections, through using the system, everything will devolve into civil war. And that is the last thing that anybody wants here in the West. So, I urge you, I beg you, to get involved. If you're an Ontarian, get out and vote. The Daily Blunt will be doing full coverage of all the candidates so you can make an informed decision on who you want to vote for. I would recommend voting for Doug Ford. However, you should make an informed decision that goes with your beliefs. If you are a Canadian, if you're not in Ontario, but you're a Canadian, next year, go out and vote. Join the campaigns. Join the party that you wish to see take down the Liberals. Go out in the streets. Talk to people. Go do some reporting. I'm just a regular guy. I work a regular job. I do this because I'm passionate about it. And I went out to the Faith Goldie event and filmed it and cut together a video. I have limited editing skills. It doesn't take a whole lot. And this video has been gaining massive traffic on platforms like Minds and basically any of the platforms that are not on the left, like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I'm completely shadow banned on Twitter. I get no traffic whatsoever on Twitter. I get zero. I've never gotten a single like or comment on Facebook except from somebody that I directly shared it to. I'm completely pushed down by their algorithm there. YouTube, we're gaining some traction. YouTube's not completely lost. However, we certainly would like to see something new come up and take its place. But Minds has been excellent, and I advise you to go check out Minds if you're tired of all these other social media platforms. But just a regular guy like me was able to make some serious traction with a video about an event that took place, the Faith Goldie Laurier shutdown. You can do the same. All you need is a cell phone and a laptop or any computer. Some basic, you can get a free editing software, Shotcut. You can go out there and you can make a video and you can upload it to YouTube within a couple hours. Easy. You can go out there and you can talk on the streets. You can talk to your friends. You can buy a printer and start printing flyers and put them up around town. Do what you can to get involved. I believe that we have one final chance here in the West to stop this. Canada is the last bastion of defense against the cultural Marxist wave, against the communists. battle has been going on for a long time, and the enemy has gotten smart. They've used infiltration, and they've wrapped their message in this nice sugary coating of inclusivity and diversity and not hurting people's feelings, when all they want to do is hurt people's feelings, shut people down, not be inclusive, and tell us what we can and we can't do. And that's not freedom. That's not what we stand for here in the West. So I urge you, all of you, all hope is not lost yet. We are this close to falling off the cliff. We have one finger left on the ledge. Fortunately, I believe that finger is strong enough to pull us back from the abyss. So get out there, do what you can. Like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Start your own channel. Like and subscribe to other people who have channels that you find valuable information from. Go talk to people on the streets. Do not be afraid. If you are classical liberal, libertarian, conservative, we are all on the same page. We have more support than the leftists do. We are sharper. They've been in power for so long, they've become weak. They expect us to just roll over and die like the GOP down in the States. They do not have the facts on their side. They do not have truth on their side. They are weak. They underestimate us. We have the numbers. We have the advantage. We have the technology. Blockchain is changing everything. New social media platforms are coming up that are getting rid of these legacy, regulated, leftist indoctrination camps of Facebook and Twitter. We have technology. We have some of the smartest minds in the world on our side. We just need to come together. And if there's not going to be a political solution, things are going to get a hell of a lot worse. So let's stop it now before it gets any worse. Thank you very much. Let's save the West.